Do you know why they don't work with you? It's because you look too smooth. As Jacques Lecoq said, the real strength lies within your weaknesses. Today, I'm going to tell you why you should repair and display your failures with gold, like the Japanese art of Kintsugi. Listen to why Guillermo del Toro is in love with our flaws. According to del Toro, as storytellers, we choose to gild those fractures with our stories, but we always know the fracture is there.
Because I think ultimately there's a thing called kintsugi, which is a Japanese art of repairing something by exposing the fracture and gilding it. And that's what we ultimately choose to do as storytellers. We gild that fracture with the stories, but we know it is there.
The gilded fractures del Toro mentions represent the flow of reality in Eric Morris's philosophy. According to Morris, trying to hide fear or insecurity creates a short circuit, whereas if you accept these flaws, your character's life begins. Harika Uyghur seals this philosophy for your career with these words: be aware of your personal flaws. They might be pulling you down in real life, but if you use them wisely, strategically, they become your greatest strength. The moment you stop being afraid of looking crazy is when you are actually at your freest and best. Just like David Harbour realized why people fall in love with the messy parts we find about ourselves, Harbour explains why those weird and awkward moments stick in the mind rather than the quest for perfection.
What all these things,
Right.
and then I think what I've realized, especially with playing this guy, is the things that are broken or that are messy about us or that gross us out. I think about ourselves are usually the things that people I've found kind of love me
Make you
for.
human. Yeah.
Like the things that, or even like in terms of photographs and stuff, it's always the awkwardness or the weirdness of those things that make you remember them, or that the image resonates in your mind, as opposed to the perfection. Like,
Yeah.
so I would say, like, in terms of striving for perfection, I try less and less to do that.
Yeah.
And I try to embrace those things about myself that I particularly don't like, on all sort of sides of it, to own more of like my instrument, like to own more of my whole psyche, is this thing that I find that is embarrassing, I think, are the things that people fall in love with us for.
Embracing flaws is like a tuning fork that shows us what we shouldn't do, as Stanislavski said. The real challenge is whether you have that emotional honesty mentioned by Viola Davis. That is, the courage to stay naked enough to reach the truth. Davis looks for that contradiction within the depth of the human experience in every role and every moment.
And that's why, the actor studio back in the day said to observe life. You got to be an observer of life, not an observer of other actors, of life.
Yeah.
And so every role you have, the challenge is, how do you get at the truth? And then once you try to get at the truth, are you brave enough to get at the truth? Are you brave enough to get emotionally naked?
This courage leads us to the wound of destiny Andrew Garfield talks about. According to Garfield, our greatest talents are hidden right next to our most primal wounds, and the cracking open of that wound is a path for us to offer our true gifts to the world.
Wound is real. Whatever that wound is whether or not it was intentional, whether or not it was completely due to this person. But there's an old idea that I really like, which is we come into this world already wounded, and it's usually one of two of our parents knows exactly how to crack open that wound. And actually, it's part of the destiny of each individual person to have that very specific wound cracked open so that we can actually live into our gifts. Because our greatest and deepest gifts are right next to that most primal kind of built-in wound.
When we choose to embrace our mistakes instead of running from them, we remember Stella Adler's harsh warning. Falling on your face is actually what picks you up from where you fell. This is also why Laura Linney is the biggest advocate for failure, because the feeling of knowing everything stops development. Linney explains why we need a code in order to keep evolving.
I'm a big advocate for failure, though. But there is that sense of putting it all in some sort of perspective, having some code for yourself, so that you can keep evolving, so that you don't become too knowing. I can always smell out actors, and a lot of young actors fall into this pitfall a lot, is is just becoming too knowing. They know. I know what to do. And I think you can go nowhere if you feel like you know what's happening.
Embracing failure means setting aside the buts. As Harika Uyghur says in her book, if you are blaming others for your failures, you are only fooling yourself. Stop the self-sabotage, take full responsibility, and live by her golden rule: no buts. Because as Adam Grant has proven, masterpieces are simply the gems filtered through a massive volume of these accountable failures. Grant explains why the greatest originals are actually those who dare to make the most mistakes.
The greatest originals are the ones who fail the most, because they're the ones who try the most. Take classical composers, the best of the best. Why do some of them get more pages in encyclopedias than others, and also have their compositions re-recorded more times? One of the best predictors is the sheer volume of compositions that they generate. The more output you churn out, the more variety you get, and the better your chances of stumbling on something truly original. Even the three icons of classical music, Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, had to generate hundreds and hundreds of compositions to come up with a much smaller number of masterpieces.
So, it's not failure we should fear, it's giving up. True originality only comes after a mountain of average attempts. Let's take this from random trial and error to a clear, strategic roadmap. What tools do we need? How do we stay focused? Here are the 6 pillars of your new strategic roadmap. The Kintsugi inventory. Don't hide your breaks. Make them the gold that defines you. Weaponize your flaws. Stop hiding your weaknesses. Turn them into your brand. Tune your mistake. Treat mistakes as a tuning fork, not a failure. Emotional nakedness. Have the courage to be your raw, unfiltered self. Your wound is your gift. Your greatest strength hides within your deepest fracture. Quantity over perfection. Masterpieces are built on hundreds of failed attempts. Perfection is a prison. The key is the light leaking through those cracks. However, if you cannot transform this power into a strategic brand, you will remain only broken. In the next episode, we will talk about managing your name like a company, the CEO mindset of Cynthia Erivo and Reese Witherspoon. Stay tuned to the Atlas. Listen, because the world is telling you something you don't know yet.